What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, I got a real treat for you because this dude is showing people how to find freedom. Luke Vanderveer in the house. What's up, Luke?
What's up, Brad? Thanks for having me, man.
We're also going live on Facebook and YouTube. So what's up, Facebook fam, YouTube fam? I can't wait for the Brad sucks his own dick comments to start rolling. That's the fun of going live. But with a guest like you, Luke, I know that there's people right now that don't want to wait for a podcast episode to drop that can get help. And when I find people like you, I want to get it out immediately.
Let's make an impact.
So, dude, if you guys don't know who this dude is, a lot of people don't know who he is because he's not trying to be social media guru. He's not trying to build a brand, but he's accidentally starting to get a little, let's say, fame or notoriety.
Sure, I'll take that.
Because old Luke is showing people what he did to make $1 million or $2 million a year. And it's a very simple thing to do. So let's talk about that. And by the way, I'm sure there's people watching that would like to do what you're about to talk about. So just for the live people, because you might not see the link later, I won't even say it. They'll have to stick around.
Oh, okay.
Don't even say it. So Luke, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I have a couple questions for you. It says here you're an expert in local lead generation and search engine optimization. So how important to a business do you think that skill set is?
Oh my God, it's invaluable.
So why don't more entrepreneurs and business owners understand not only how important it is, but that they should have someone on staff that's focused on it 1,000%?
They think they've been screwed a couple too many times, and they're also just kind of stuck in the weeds. So they're just doing their thing and not really thinking about how to grow, or they're afraid to spend money. Do
you know how many businesses are out there in the world?
Oh.
How about just the United States?
Take a guess?
Yeah.
A few 100 million?
No, I don't know about that many.
Oh, there's at least a lot of searches. There's 750 million searches a month.
Yeah, but I think there's about 31 million small businesses in the United States. And 31 million people need to understand what you know. How to generate leads.
I would agree.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
So because I got a lot of listeners, a lot of people that like run businesses, building businesses, want to build a business. Why wouldn't somebody listening to this episode say, wait a minute, I want to do what he teaches just simply to blow up my business?
Why wouldn't they? If they thought they didn't have the time to do it, maybe they don't want to invest extra money. A lot of businesses work entirely off referrals, right? They might have tried something in the past that didn't work, so then they just gave up. They might be afraid of...
Dude, where are you running into these businesses, though?
Oh, man, all over the place.
It makes no sense.
Just cold calling people. Local businesses, plumbers, electricians, roofers.
Saying what?
Guys. Terrible at generating leads. No clue what they're doing. They're really good at what they do.
So dude, how did you discover what's going on?
Well, we got to backtrack a little bit. I was just trying to get out of my 9 to 5. I'm working.
Bring that mic as close as humanly possible.
How's that?
Better.
Working in human resources, just hating my life, trying to figure out how to get out. And everybody I'm talking to there is just telling me how they're all, just waiting for this day when they can retire. And I've never accepted this idea that you have to go to school, get in a bunch of debt, then work forever, and then eventually enjoy your life at like some arbitrary number, 67, 70, whatever it is. So I was just trying to get out. I was looking for ways to do that. And I did a million different side hustles trying to figure something out. Stumbled onto SEO, learned it, built an agency, just turned it into another job. And I was like, one of these days I'll figure it out where I'm not going to have to be working constantly. And at one point I had a customer piss me off, and it triggered something that made me switch it to now renting sites out to the business instead of doing it for them, working for somebody else. So
Cleaner that way.
The path. Yeah. Much cleaner.
I mean, dude, you just like made me like disconnect all the complications that were going through my head related to a agency model.
Every problem just gone instantly. Because think, you have like an agency, right? And you got a million things that the client could ask you for. The clients are telling you to do all kinds of dumb stuff that you don't need to do. Your job is to get them more leads. Get them leads.
That's all they want at the end of the day.
Yeah. But they'll call you up and they'll tell you that, you know, this is how we think you should do it. I'm like, you don't have a clue what to do. That's why I'm here. But they'll argue with you about it and so forth. So I'm just going to do what I want and I will rent it to them. It just eliminates all the problems.
And you started doing that and businesses started saying, absolutely, paying you a fee and bang, recurring revenue.
Yeah.
Instant.
Without the headaches.
So folks, if you guys ain't paying attention, number one, recurring revenue, bro. When you see a Rolls Royce, a lot of people think the RR on the headrest stands for Rolls Royce. I keep saying, dude, that stands for recurring revenue because that's how you get those some bitches. That's recurring revenue, number one. Number two, that's freedom because having the ability to go where you want, do what you want is only contingent on having the money to pay your bills without having to go do things you don't want to do.
Right.
So the freedom comes from having that money. So if you're taking, let's say, $1 million a year net from doing this, which is totally possible, you'd have to have, let's be conservative and say 15 million invested to produce $1 million recurring revenue model from cash flow, from interest cash flow. Does that make sense?
Okay. So
like I'd have to put $15 million in an investment paying me 10% to get 1.5 million a year back. Right. Then I could technically, as long as I'm not spending more than 1.5, I could retire. I could go away. I could have freedom.
Right.
You get 1 million people out there right now with 9-to-5 jobs and they're listening to this. They're going to say, dude, so hold on. Because right now I know it hasn't made sense to people and that's been by intention. I want it to be revealed through our conversation. What the fuck does he do? Well, guys, in case you just weren't listening, he was working a bullshit dead-end HR job. Then he figured out SEO. So then he started an SEO agency. And then he realized clients are a pain in the ass and over-demanding and never happy, which sounds like every business I know. But customers number one, and we better take care of the customer, which, by the way, is a true story, bro. You got to take care of your customers if you want to stay in business. So you get a little bit pissed at a customer. What did he do to piss you off?
This guy, all right, Boston, Massachusetts, water damage restoration's the niche. So obviously very high ticket, right? Houses flood, 80, hundreds of thousands of dollars for one job. And this guy was buried on page 6 of the search results. And if you know anything about Google search results and studies, there's a company called Marketing Land. They did a study. The first person in the search results gets 31% of the traffic. Number 2, 14%. Number 3, 9%. When you go to page 2, 4%. Anything beyond that, hide a dead body. Nobody's finding it. He was on page 6, so he's getting nothing organically. And I cold called this guy and I got him to sign on as a client. I didn't charge him very much, $700, something like that.
And then you gave him the old bullshit. SEO takes time.
I did.
Because it does, doesn't it?
But I delivered some results. I brought that guy from invisible to number 1. Now he's number 1 for hundreds of terms. He's getting a ridiculous amount of calls. And one night he called me at midnight on a Sunday, woke me up out of a sleep. I'm like, what the hell? I answered the phone and I'm like, what the hell? What? Who is this? And he just starts bitching at me. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I was like, you're done. Hung up. And I was like, all right, I'm shutting this thing down. This has got to go. Woke up the next day. I was like, that's it. I got to find a way to get rid of this. I'm not working for clients anymore. Done. I've had other things.
So you fired them all?
I fired all of the clients.
Dude, so basically he gets a bad phone call, wakes up in the middle of the night and basically doesn't want to do that anymore. But you didn't stop, which most people would. What'd you do? You said, I got to figure out a way to where I'll do what I want and just rent the site to them instead of do it for them. Like, pay me and I'll do this for you. How about I just do it and then you rent the site from me, which is what I call flipping the script. Mm-hmm. And then you did it. And now this just generating leads the way you know to do it without any brain damage from any customers trying to freaking look over your shoulder. Have you ever seen those mechanic signs where it says labor rate and it says $100 an hour and $150 if you're watching?
I have not seen that one.
Yeah, that's why. Because, dude, like when you're fixing someone's car and they're watching you, you want more to fix it because you got to listen to their shit. So that's what happened to you. You flipped the script and you said, fuck it, I'll just build these sites myself and then rent the sites to the customers. And you went and did it. And then you started literally having the customer say, yeah, I'll pay rent, or which is basically a license.
I didn't really go back to any of those. A couple of the clients, I fired everybody, but a couple of the conversations, they were friends. This guy I don't particularly like, so I never went back to him. But everybody else, got rid of them all. And I just built websites in all of the niches that I was already in. It's like, why not? I know the niche. Take over the top spot, lease out the top spot. It's like digital real estate, right? You had a property, you'd rent it out to some tenants. What's the difference?
See, folks, better pay attention. I don't know if everybody's paying attention, but dude, you guys better pay attention. Like, he just said what he's doing. And dude, the second I heard it, I'm like, dude, let's go live. Let's get on dropping bombs. Let's talk about this shit.
Yeah.
Because my goal, bro, is to, like, you know, get the knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. Because I think there's a lot of people out there, good people, busting their ass, but they're not getting anywhere. And they're not getting anywhere because they don't have the right information. And dude, this is the right information. And usually it's found by somebody who discovers it, gets rich, and sails off into the sunset. So now all these people are struggling when all that person had to do is turn around and help someone else get there.
I was planning on doing that, but then I had buddies texting me like, so you going to teach me what you're doing, or... And I was like, I mean, I guess. I was like, I'm not a coach. What do you want? And like, show me how to do it. It's like, okay, all right. And I kept telling him no initially, but people kept bothering me about it. And I was like, all right, fine. Let me try to do something. So I just laid it out. Here's exactly what I did. And it worked for them too. So it just kind of grew organically.
So ultimately, dude, you got yourself now a freaking impact-making, multi-million-dollar coaching business.
That's the goal.
Even though everyone seems to have a coaching business, but you know, I'd rather call it a business opportunity. Because dude, you know, for the people listening, guys, let me just summarize so you hear what he's talking about. He went out and did it for himself, started making a bunch of money, renting sites out. So he built a bunch more, rented them out. Now you got it. You know, you're a millionaire generating millions from doing that for yourself. And then your buddy said, hey, how are you doing that? And you showed them now, and then they started doing it. And it's not something that might work. It's something that does work. What if the market gets flooded? What if everybody on dropping bombs, everybody in the bomb squad calls you, pays whatever the damn fee is, and you teach them how to do what you did, and everyone's doing it now. I mean, it's got to break somehow, because if you're number one in that niche, if I learned, why wouldn't I be number one? Only one of us can be number one.
Well, you're gonna have a tough time beating me, but yeah, it's saturation in the niches, and there's just thousands of things you could do. It's literally anything you could possibly search at a local level online, and now anything you could search in any city, in any state, county, country, anywhere in the world.
So, like, for example, I'm looking for someone that can come over and build a deck at my house.
Sure.
So I go on Google and I type in deck builders.
Yep.
And you're right. It's the first page or two I'm going to look at. I don't go to third and fourth and fifth page.
No, nobody cares. We don't have time, right?
So if you're the link in the first deck builder, but they're not deck builders. So why would I put up a deck building site? Then what? Well, when they all start clicking and putting in their name, or they want to talk to somebody, how do you have that technology to patch them through to the actual deck builder that's renting the site?
Oh, it's simple. It's just call tracking, call forwarding software. They call the number, that number,
but it's your number
to another number.
But it is your number.
The call tracking number is something that you rent.
Yeah, and the site is yours.
Yeah.
And so really, when I go to 1-800 deck builders or whatever you got to rank so high, when I go there as a buyer, I don't realize that it's really Bob's deck building that I'm getting.
Right.
But when I go there and type in my name or try to connect with somebody, I'm connecting directly with who's renting that site.
Yeah, and like neither person would know the difference. On the front end, the customer doesn't know. It just rings Bob. And on Bob's side, he doesn't know. The customer
Well, what if
just
he
says
answers
hello.
the phone, Bob's Deck Builders, and I'm like, well, I'm calling 1-800 Deck Builder.
Well, so I'm having a conversation with that business owner ahead of time to prep them on what's going to happen here. Because it does happen.
So you got to create some sort of synergy.
Yeah, a little bit. Just it's not a hard conversation. It's just like people are coming in from this. This is what they're expecting. It's going to be a little weird if, they hit, Dallas tree removal and you answer Bob's tree service. So
How much attrition do you get?
attrition, not a ton. Not a ton. I've lost 3 clients ever.
And how long?
And how long has it been? Since 2016.
Why
8 years?
Why would they stop if it was producing leads that were converting?
One person died, so that's an out.
Well, we don't count that one then.
Another person, the company got acquired by a different company, and they're like, we're going in a different direction. Sure. And then, what happened to that other guy?
It doesn't matter.
I don't remember.
Bottom line is not many people leave your service.
People don't leave. It just doesn't. I think it's also because how I price it too. They're getting so much business that it's like, why would you ever leave?
Hey, and before everybody wants to reach out to him and say, do it for my business, do it for my business. You don't do it for every kind of business.
No, very specific.
You go down into the niches, you keep saying.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be something that's an easy win, right? If I'm doing it for myself to just find something that's going to be an easy win for me, make me some passive income. I want something that's going to be as easy as possible, and it's not going to require a lot of ongoing work. I want to build something. I want it to pay me without me touching it again. The only way to do that is to be very intentional about what you choose.
Yeah, well, again, true. And I always put myself in the minds of the listener as I'm talking to you, because if I'm a listener, what would I want to ask and what would I want to know about this to help me as a listener? So sometimes you'll see me thinking, and it's because I'm trying to get in the minds of the listeners. The listeners, when there's all types of them, that's why it's hard. But there's a lot of them that are out there. They're entrepreneurial. If I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, dude, I need you to do that for me. But, and you'll do that. Do you have a service that does that? Or can I call you and have you set that up and I'll rent it? Are you looking to sell more sites, or do you have to make it first and then rent it?
You build the site, then you rent it out.
Well, what if I'm a business and I'm like, I want one of those sites you're talking about. I want to be the #1 landscaper in Casablanca.
Yeah. I just refer it out to all my students.
But can you build me that?
I could, but I won't. I'll just give it to one of my students.
But
they can build it.
But you can pre-sell it to me is my point.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So if I'm a business owner listening and I'm like, dude, I see exactly what he's doing. I don't know how to do it, but I see exactly what he's doing. I want to do that. Can they do that?
Yeah.
So where do they call?
Well,
Because that's not your business.
No.
That's not what you're here to talk about.
No.
But that's an opportunity.
It is.
Dude, I got a lot of freaking business owners that if they're paying attention to this, they're going to go, dude, so he's going to build a site that ranks #1, and then I'm getting all those leads.
That's how it goes.
Okay,
There's
well,
only
like
one
I don't need the site to rent from you. I need you to build it and rent it to me.
Yeah.
I want to call you right now. How do I reach you? How do I get a hold of you?
Find me on Facebook if you could spell my name.
No, dude, come on. You need a better call to action. I need to be your coach, bro. Folks, you go to, well, what is your Instagram?
My Instagram is just my name, Luke Vanderveer.
Luke Vanderveer. And on Facebook, you go to Website Rental Coach.
Yeah, facebook.com/website rental coach. So if you're in business and you want to connect with me, find me there. I'll refer you to one of my students and they'll crush it for you.
Dude, I gotta help you with that whole thing. We're going to talk one
Yeah,
day.
you don't like that for the brand?
Well, it's okay, but like again, I know what the whole plan is. Probably these guys are going to, now these are businesses, they're not trying to learn it.
Yeah.
So that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Because anyone else that's listening, because they're trying to get out of the rat race, they're trying to get freedom, they're trying to get money, they're entrepreneurial, but they don't really have the right vehicle. Well, if I'm listening as that guy,
Those are my people.
I know, but that's me really listening, because what you're telling me is if I come to you and pay you whatever the damn fee is, because everybody's got a fee, but you'll teach me how to do this so I can build these sites.
Yeah.
I can rank myself number one for multiple businesses. And then I've got a business where I'm renting websites to businesses.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And there's so many different things you could do with the skill set. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, but dude, like that's a no-brainer. If someone right now is digging ditches, working at a restaurant, fast food, delivering papers, side hustles, trying to pay bills and, you know, create a freaking way to make real money, this is it.
I believe to the core that success is a choice.
Well,
You could choose to do the work or you choose not to.
Well, how much
Either
work
way,
is
you're
there?
choosing.
how much work is there?
I'd say 5-10 hours a week. You can do it part-time and build up something over the course of a few months.
To
You
what?
want to go really hard, you can
Well, dude,
hit it
nothing
120
comes
grand in 90
easy.
days. It's going to be work, but it's very possible to do some serious income in a very short time.
When you quit the HR job, or no, when you quit the agency, how long did it take you before you started making real money?
It took me 6 months to hit like 120-ish grand and then walk away.
120 grand total
Yeah.
in 6 months.
Yeah.
So what's that? 20 grand a month?
What, 10 grand a month? 10 grand a month.
No, that would be a year.
Or 120 grand a year. Yeah. Was the initial thing. Walk away from the job.
So that's when you quit.
Yeah.
So even if you
Just
don't,
replace the job and leave. It's like, that was it. That was enough. Just match the salary, walk away.
so what's the difference between life then and life now?
You have to look at your credit cards and look at the price of things. Now it doesn't matter. For the majority of stuff. I mean, like I can't go do like a private jet or something. I mean, I could fly in one, I guess, but I can't go buy one. But I also don't care. I just wanted to be able to travel, do the things I want with my family. If I want to buy a jet ski, I can go buy a jet ski. I want to go travel to Italy for a week, I could do that. Not work for a month, I could do that. See the family at Christmas and stay for a month, I could do that. It was just all the time, I think, was the thing I wanted the most.
Well, dude, that's the most
And I
valuable
have it
thing.
now.
And dude, that's the most valuable thing that people don't realize.
Yeah.
When I say freedom, I should start saying time, because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
How do you get your time back? Well, you got to create revenue that keeps paying, or you got to do work that pays over and over.
Right.
Your shit sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I'm not endorsing this either, because I've never done it, but he's done it and he does it and he shows many people how to do it. And ultimately what you're showing people how to do, correct me if I'm wrong, is you're going to teach me basically some, crash course on SEO. You're going to teach me how to pick the niche, go in and build a website that ranks number one on Google in that local market, and then go sell that website, which is ranking number one.
Yeah.
When people search the word, the term, whatever, plumbing, landscaping, home remodeling, home services sounds like that's a niche that's
my
really
favorite.
good. Plumbing,
It's
whatever. But you teach people how you do that.
Yeah.
And it works every time. Like there's no, oh shit, I did exactly what he said and it didn't work. Like, why not? It's just algorithm shit.
Because we don't always know exactly what Google's going to do. We know we have a good idea of what should work, and then we kind of tweak it as we go to adjust.
So
make
there's
sure we
there's
hit
a
the
there's a
results here.
there's an alchemy involved.
There's a little bit of, I don't want to say, there's a little bit of art. It's a little bit of art. I want to say 15% art.
Well, let me ask you this, and then we're going to take some live questions, because there's probably people watching going, well, what about this and what about that? But we'll get to them. I'm still picking out my brain because right now I'm hearing no-brainer type shit.
Yeah.
Like to me, this is like, wait a minute, I'm flipping hamburgers to freaking ride my bike back and forth so I can get an apartment, and you're telling me you can teach me how to rank on SEO and then rent the site out to the business that wants those leads.
Yeah.
And then do it again.
And again.
And then do it again.
And again.
And again, as many times as I want. So theoretically, you're teaching me how to generate millions of dollars with a little bit of my work, 10 to 15 hours a week.
Yeah. And then if you don't want to do that type of work, you hire some VAs, virtual assistants, and have them do it. And then you just oversee it. You just got to learn it yourself first.
Yeah, now I know why you call yourself website rental coach. And by the way, websiterentalcoach.com, folks, if you guys do want to reach out and pick his brain.
IMG, website rental coaching.
Oh, coaching. Yeah. Website rental coaching.
There you go.
.com.
Yeah.
Because if you ask me, dude, if I'm a business owner and I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, well, dude, I want one of those sites. Just build me one. Like, I'll rent it. You got me.
Yeah.
You know, because the worst case scenario, I pay you to rent one and it's going to produce leads. Well, that's what I'm looking for. And I'm willing to spend money to find them as long as they convert. So do you do you offer anything to get them to convert better? Or have you ever had a business get leads but not know how to convert them?
I have. And then just in the interest of time, I drop them and find one who does know what they're doing. You could do that. That could be a bolt-on where you teach the person. Your sales ability would be great for that type of thing. But I just, in the interest of time, I just find another business who wants it, which is everybody. Because there's only one number one. There can only be one Highlander, right?
So once you sell
that particular city.
Once you sell a business in that city, you got to move on.
Yeah.
So if I get one landscaper in Las Vegas, Nevada, that's it.
That guy's going to be the best for landscaping in Las Vegas. He'll have all the business for landscaping, and then I won't do it with anybody else in Las Vegas.
Does he call me and complain if that goes to number 3?
As long as they're getting the leads, it doesn't matter. I think this is also part of the conversation. I don't really tell them what the websites are that they're even renting. I'm just saying, here's the lead volume you're going to expect. And then if they have that, they're not bothering me.
So you're basically selling leads.
They don't even know the websites half the time.
Yeah, so you're not renting websites, you're selling leads.
Well, I mean, technically.
You're a lead generator.
Yeah.
And see, every business needs to understand that.
They're just
dude, I got an event coming up this weekend for how to grow and scale a business. And what I always say to people is, it's very simple. It's not easy to do, but it's simple to understand.
Yeah.
To grow and scale a business, you need more opportunities to do business. That's lead gen.
Right.
That's one way to do it. Right. Then number 2, you need people to properly work and deliver what you're selling. You need people, a team. And then number 3, you need to organize and automate everything to maximize acceleration and organize. You don't want to scale chaos. So to scale your business, you need more leads. Okay. You need more people, and you need more systems and processes, or better ones, in place. Automation, organization. If you do those things, your business goes through the roof. And that's lead gen.
Yeah.
And that scales businesses. Every business wants lead gen.
I mean, the opportunity is enormous. Just if you look at Google searches, just globally, 46% are local searches for businesses.
So why don't you just call businesses and say, hey, I'll make you number 1. That's what you did before, and that's what
the SEO pitch.
That's the SEO pitch. That one. Everybody, what do they say about that one? Because if someone called me, I would say, in how long?
Right.
Because I have gotten suckered by an SEO guy.
Everybody has.
And everybody's listening is probably going, yeah, it's SEO, Brad. You know better than that, and he's full of shit and yak yak. Yeah, but what you don't understand is the rest of what he just said. He was an SEO guy selling SEO, but everybody wants this, wants that, bitches, complains, moans, and groans. So he said, I know how to do SEO. I know how to make the page at the top of the search list. So I just did it myself, and then I just basically sold them the website, which theoretically that's what you're doing, but you're really selling them the leads, and you're only giving exclusive leads to one customer is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just selling results now instead of a promise.
Yeah, so every business listening, if you are not doing that and you are not on your first page of rankings, I would be calling not to learn it, but to have you do it for me. And your phone should blow up with the bomb squad alone. Because I mean, dude, that is what everybody wants. You hit it on the head, and that's what everyone needs. You want to make more money? Fuck, dude, generate more leads, qualified leads. What makes these leads qualified? Have you ever had anybody go, well, everybody that's coming through, it's not looking for a plumber?
It depends on how much work you want to put in. Like, looking at it from my perspective of, I wanted this to be as passive as possible, or I'm not doing the work and I can create something and just enjoy the money. I didn't care. I just sent it to them and I said, everything that comes in. Here's what you can expect for what you should receive. Anything above that, it's whatever. I'm going to charge this number, and that number is probably 10% of what they're making from it, so they don't care. And then that keeps me out of it because it's so low that they're like, I would be an idiot not to take this.
Yeah, and you don't want your competitors to get them.
That makes it passive for me because I don't have to worry.
How do you increase the volume of the leads if you wanted to?
I just push the site up higher or build more sites all in the same area and just take over more of the page.
Because if I'm a business owner, dude, I'm gonna get the first one from you, and I'm gonna go, dude, I need more. How do you get me more?
Just do another one.
There's only 100 people coming through this thing because there's only so many people searching in my area for what I do.
Right.
But in some cases, some of the niches got to be big, like plumbing. I'm sure Google for Las Vegas gets a zillion hits
insane.
A day.
Yeah. And that's probably not one I would pick though, because that one's probably overly competitive. I actually haven't looked at that one. But
so now on the other side of the fence, when you're teaching people to do what you did,
yeah.
And see, that's another thing. People might be confused. Let's take Chris Huffstutter. He said SEO doesn't guarantee the top all the time. Only paying Google enough to be there. You know that.
It's dependent on the niche, right? So like you can take over the top spot for everything, but you're going to have to compete against other marketing companies that also want that. So if I'm doing this as the person who wants to escape the rat race and I'm just building stuff, I want the best possible chance of success. So I'm not picking Las Vegas plumbing. I'm picking like excavation in Des Moines, Iowa, so that I'm going up against mom and pop shops that have no idea what a website even is.
And so there's a lot of those.
There's a lot of that. And if I find that, they're not beating me.
Yeah. So dude, his system that he teaches may not be for every business is what that makes me hear. Like what you're saying is like, you
could still apply the concepts. You'll get results.
I know, but
it's not going to be 90 days. It's going to take longer.
No, I know, but I might have people in Las Vegas that do plumbing that would have called you, but you're saying I wouldn't have picked that one because, maybe it does take a little longer. But this guy's comment, SEO doesn't guarantee the top all of the time. Now, SEO in general, no, but the right SEO does because, and I'm speaking out loud. You guys both can correct me if you need to, but in my mind, that's an incorrect statement. Why? Because SEO properly done will put you on the very first row if you do it better than everybody else. And there's always a first one that's not sponsored. Because what I do a lot of times when I Google is I look at the sponsored ones because they're top.
You skip those.
I look down. I want to see the top one that's not sponsored.
Organic. Yeah.
I want to see the top company that's not sponsored. They're just showing up.
Why do you do that?
Because I don't trust the sponsors. They're paying for me to see it.
They're paying for it, yeah.
Right, and everybody knows this.
Right.
So again, in sponsored ads work, like, dude, I would tell business owners, if you don't have a Meta campaign and a Google AdWords campaign, you're a fool. You should pay to be at the top of that frickin' list, but you also should figure out how to get there organically. Because if I had to pay to be there, dude, that's a big ad budget.
Yeah.
Let's say my word, for example, I'm bidding on, and you bid against yourself. It's just not good. It's good for Google. But to me, if I'm a business, I'm doing that because I want to be on the top page. And if I just pay money, I'm there. So there's people that do that. But what about the mom and pops and the little companies that aren't doing that want to be right there on that page?
Website rental's a better option.
It's a way better option.
And I don't have to sell
that's
on
Chris Huffstutter's answer. He's saying it almost like SEO doesn't guarantee the top all the time. Only paying Google enough to be there does. You know that. Almost like you're trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. So I want clarity. There's no wool. You're saying, listen, on the teaching side of things, if anybody's tired of freaking making chump change and wants, recurring revenue enough to freaking basically go do what you want and do all those things you listed as benefits, I'll show you exactly how to do it. And it might not be plumbing in Las Vegas. You're going to teach me the Des Moines niche trick. In other words, guys, there's a lot of freaking pure ground out there. Don't go where there's caliche.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, the process, you have to learn SEO to do it, and that's part of it. I teach
How long is it going to take me, though? That would be my concern. Take you to
get results or take you to get through everything you have to learn?
Well, results, dude, because I don't care about any of this other than I want recurring. If I'm listening to this, dude, I don't care about all your teaching. I care about making that recurring
90
money.
days, if you put in the work.
Now, if you put in the work, well, what's the work? Like how tedious is it? 90 days part-time and I'm making money?
Yeah, pretty tedious.
Tedious like monotonous or tedious like rocket science?
Monotonous, boring. I don't really want to do this, but you got to do it. And I don't want to drag us too far into the weeds, so I don't know that I should really go into that.
But you got to do some work.
There's work, but it's not hard. It's not hard.
It's not like rocket science, meaning once you show me, I can do it.
You can do it.
It's like anyone can do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a computer genius to figure this out.
No, but it's like, you tell people to do stuff. How often do they do it? Half the time?
Yeah, it's just like working out, dude. It's not hard to get abs. You just got to do it. Well, dude.
You're going to stay consistent. It's like you can get the result, but you got to want it, and then you're going to have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
It's like if you only work when you're motivated, you're never going to work.
But I keep going from, I'm listening to this as someone that wants to make money and get my freedom, and then I switch back over to I'm a business listening to this, and I'm making great money. I just want more leads. I was trying to get them to understand, dude, reach out and have him build you one so you get top spot. But that guy says you don't always get top spot.
No, if you're good, you do.
Somebody wants to know why I didn't go to Dan Pena's Castle seminar. I apparently paid for it. You can pay me for questions. You can pay for questions, but that's telling me if that's even real, I'm going to start doing lives just answering questions for money. Look at that. It looks like someone on YouTube paid $4.99 to ask me that question. So I feel obliged to answer it.
Wait a minute. Who was I listening to that it's Dan Pena had the question? What happened?
No, this guy's saying, why didn't you go to Dan Pena's Castle seminar? So obviously someone in the bomb squad that listens to my podcast heard Dan Pena on it, and I said I was going to go, which I am going to go. So there's your answer. I am going to go to Dan Pena's Castle.
Who just talked about this? Patrick Bet David? Did he have a software where you could ask people questions? Wasn't that his?
Manect is one, yeah.
Manect.
You got a minute to connect.
Right.
Shout out to my boy Patrick Bet David. Give him a little plug. I'm also on Manect. If you guys want to connect with me on Manect, but that's different. I can go live like this, and if people want to pay me, like this guy apparently did, and I'm pretty sure what that indicates, he wanted to pay $5 just to make sure I answered that question. So if I did that and 1,000 people ask questions, dude, make 5 G's sitting here and answering questions for a half hour.
Start it up.
But this is what I knew would happen. So once we start getting live viewers involved, dude, the podcast goes to freaking a live show. Old Cisco says, I have no money. He has no money. Do you need money to do this?
To try to build one?
Do the work, not buy your knowledge. Because again, Cisco, if you got no money, go borrow it from grandma. I keep telling people, dude, the game ain't free.
Yeah.
If you see someone that learned something, spent a lot of time, effort, and money to figure out a way to like make a lot of money, and you want to learn it, and you ain't got no money, dude, don't expect that to be told to you for free. And then people want to throw in your face, well, I thought you're trying to help people. Yeah, I'm going to help people go get some backbone and bet on themselves and come in, because dude, I didn't get it free. You ain't getting it free, and you shouldn't even get it free. Free, you don't appreciate it. Free, you don't implement it. Free, it doesn't work. I've literally seen a program that they tried to give away free, and it didn't really work. No one ever did anything, and it wasn't very popular. Then they started charging for it, and all of a sudden it worked.
People crushed it.
They crushed it. It got wildly popular.
You need skin in the game.
And then it's like, dude, you need to bet on yourself. You need to have some risk. You need skin in the game. You need discipline. If I get it for free, dude, I might think about doing it if I believe what you're saying. If I paid you money, dude, now I got to do it. Why? Well, because, dude, I paid for it.
That money. Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you could, okay, all right. So domains, 10, 20 bucks a year, hosting, a couple $100 a year. You could write the content yourself. There's free website builders. You could build the websites yourself. You could do all the ranking work yourself. That's it.
But I assume if you...
Call tracking, $50 a month.
Yeah, but I assume, so what that is chump change. Basically, guys, it takes a little money because you're going to want subscriptions and software.
The problem is going to be time. I know everybody loves going to YouTube University for their degree, but that's not the way to do it if you want to get it sometime, in the near future. Because you're going to learn broken pieces of the puzzle and then try to figure out how to put everything all together.
Oh, so what you mean is instead of going on YouTube trying to search all the videos out there teaching you how to do this, you'll just teach them quickly.
Yeah. Do you want the treasure map or do you want to go hunting?
Did you have to go learn all this shit somehow?
All these different pieces, just paying for all kinds of courses and coaching and whatever, and then try to piece it together because everything would always be missing something. One guy teaches you one thing, and then you're like, okay, but what about that other piece? You got to go find that one. Oh, what about this other piece? Go find that one. What a pain in the ass. So I just put it all together, and it worked for me. And then I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to teach other people this, I got to make it a little bit easier. So let's see if we can create a streamlined process here so they don't have to go to 75 different places like I did.
Dude, that's crazy.
And then put a little community in place too, so that all of your friends and family who are telling you this isn't going to work, just like all your other side hustles, you don't have to listen to that crap because there's a community of people who are all on the same mission.
Do people say that though?
Oh my God. How many times I got that? Because I did so many other things. I tried MLM for 2.5 years, pyramid scheme thing. Yeah.
But those aren't pyramid schemes.
Well,
MLM is a legitimate way to market a product. Anyone that talks shit about MLM doesn't understand MLM.
It was just tough.
But there are scam MLMs and there are pyramid schemes. But an MLM is not a pyramid scheme.
I refer to it like that because that's what
everybody does. Yeah, everybody calls it that.
Yeah.
If I do a live on MLM, we'll get people arguing. Maybe I'll just charge money to argue.
You'll get views.
Huh?
You'll get major views.
Yeah, people love arguing. Why do they love train wrecks? Anyway, so guys, listen, pay attention because I bring you guys these people when I think in my mind, dude, people need to understand that this is not rocket science shit that you just don't know. And I see people struggling. I see people not being able to take vacations. I see people doing all kinds of things. And in my mind, I'm thinking, poor guy, he don't know.
No.
Like I always tell people, if you ain't making $100,000, come work for me. Period. Why? Because, dude, you clearly don't know how to make $100,000 or more. You're making less. If you knew how to make more, you'd make more. So you clearly don't know how. Otherwise, you'd be doing it. Now, there's people, well, I don't care about money. And we ain't looking for you, friend. If you're trying to get out of the rat race, dude, this is a way to do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got to work. No, there's no magic formula. Yes, it's tedious. Yes, you're going to have discipline and commitment and consistency. But the question it wouldn't be, if that were the case for me, will there be work? Well, because of course there is. If it's real, there's going to be some work. The question is, does it work? Not is there work, but does it work? That's the
Test it out.
That's the main concern.
Can we pull something up on Google?
You guys hear that? Pay attention. It's not, is there work? You should be asking, does it work? Or vetting that does it work? Because if it does work, well, and all you have to do is put in the work. And if I do that, those are the opportunities I'm looking for. Those are the opportunities real people should be looking for. Because, dude, if you did it, why wouldn't it work for me? Now, again, you got to vet these opportunities and these offers and these courses and these coaching groups and all this shit against that model. That's how you got to figure it out. So what do you do to figure it out? Is this one of them scams that doesn't work even if I do? Or is this one of those ones that actually do work if I do? How do you figure that out? You want my answer? Let me ask you your opinion first. How do you figure that out?
Talk to the person, see what kind of results they got.
Testimonials, that's one way.
That's the easiest one. And does the offer make sense?
No, that's irrelevant.
I mean, I like that one. That's the initial one to see.
You know what my answer is?
Look at it.
Here's my answer. You see whoever's claiming that they can teach you to do it, if they're doing it. If they're doing it.
Yeah.
Because like if you're teaching me, you can teach me how to do this SEO and I can make a bunch of money by renting it out to all these businesses and I can quit my job and be a rich man and live with freedom and all the shit you're claiming. Well, why aren't you doing it? That's the first thing I think. And that's what everybody should think in their head. Like, oh, you claim you can show me how to be the best balloon business in the country? Do you have a balloon business? No. Well, then how do you know how to have a big balloon business? Just like these guys on social media, they bombard my account going, hey, I see that you're having a little bit problem engaging your followers. I can show you how to engage your followers. And then I look at their account and they got like 209 followers. And I'm like, well, why don't you get some first? Like you think I'm going to pay you to show me how to engage followers that you don't even have. Okay, why don't you
Come back to me later?
Yeah, why don't you get some followers first? Then I might listen. Now, if someone with a lot of followers and high engagement called me and said, hey, you want me to show you how you get your followers really engaged? I'd say, yeah. And I'd pay for it. Why? Because now I don't have to figure it out. I just learn it. Does it work? Yeah, but there's work to do. Work to do never scares me. And if that scares people, dude, that's your problem. It's not about lack of information. It's called a lack of frickin' commitment, lack of discipline. This guy, Cisco, he says he don't have no money, but now he says he wants to be able to start a business. Well, Cisco, go borrow some money. Go get some money from your grandma, your friends. Go do some day labor and get some money. And it sounds like, and you don't even need that much, and then call this man right here, Luke Vanderveer, and then be willing to put in the work because you clearly have a computer because you wouldn't be making comments if you didn't. So you can clearly do what he's talking about, and then you can be a testimonial, which is the second way to basically see it. Like, let me see who you've helped. I have people all the time, Brad, I can turn you into a freaking or a worldwide celebrity. I got a special formula, and I say, cool. Who have you made a celebrity? And they go, nobody. And I'm like, well then, so testimonials, that's the other way.
Yeah.
See who's making the claim. Are they doing what it is that you're trying to learn? Because if they're not doing it and they've never done it, guys, don't pick that course or that program or that coaching group or that mastermind or whatever else you're considering. Number 2, can you introduce me to anybody you've done it for? Because if the answer is no, well then, am I a guinea pig? Am I the first one? Maybe do me for free and then I'll tell everybody that you did me correctly. But dude, who did you do it for? So you've done this for other people.
A lot of people.
You accidentally fell into that. Like this wasn't even your intention. You went from an HR nerd, sounds like.
That's pretty much benefits.
Were you one of those male Karens in the HR department?
No. I should have never been in HR just because of my language and so forth. But
well, dude, one time I had to fire a lady that worked for me as my HR person because of some indiscretions. Yeah, like HR violations.
I see. Okay.
Like the HR manager was the one doing all the violating. Look, someone paid me again. If this is payment, man, I got some business ideas. Luciano Veliz. What's up, Luch? See, they pay, you call him out a little bit.
What has he got?
I don't know. He's saying, just opened an HVAC company. Is this something that would help? If so, do you have testimonials? Smart man. He paid $5 to get a question to you, I assume, which is, hey, he's got an HVAC company. would this work or help?
100%.
He says, yes, Luch.
100%.
And then he says, if so, do you have any testimonials?
Oh, well, look at a million of them on websiterentalcoaching.com.
He's got a million of them. And websiterentalcoaching.com, folks, is what he's fell into, meaning everybody wanted to learn it. So he started showing a bunch of people. Now they're freaking doing it. And so now he's thinking, well, shit, dude, now I guess I'm coaching people how to do this shit. And he's still doing it, which again, you're hitting all the marks, which is why I had you on the show. Number one, boom, is he doing it? Dude, you're making 7 figures or more, which is all that's important.
Yeah.
Annually, doing it for yourself.
Yes.
You don't make the bulk of your money teaching people how to do it yet, because I'm going to try to convince you to do it on Lightspeed and do it right. And I'll show you, because that's what I do, bro.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, John Maxwell, Brian Tracy, big name people use Lightspeed for a reason. It's not because it's the worst one out there. It's like the real truest training technology. That's what you need to train these guys. Because I have a feeling that when this episode airs, you're going to get a lot of people that are not afraid of betting on themselves, that are going, okay, show me. And then you got to deliver.
Oh, I don't mind that. I like helping people win.
I know, and plus you've been doing it. But anyway, to his question, do you have testimonials?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, Luciano. Thank you for paying for a question. Dude, I didn't know we could do this. I should go live almost every day, and it should just be Brad Weiss Live, and you pay me to give you my Brad Weiss. Jeff, I can't answer your question now because people are setting a precedent. Now you must pay. It's $5, it looks like.
Engagement's going down.
No, I'm just joking. Jeff says, how much does a good modern website cost in the U.S. right now?
A good modern
It's not I don't think it's a website, because let me say this and then you tell them the answer.
Yeah.
But if it's what I'm talking about, because I said I had a buddy that did this once and it worked for him, but all he did was put up a plain Jane looking website. It wasn't even a good looking website. It was more of a capture website. It was almost like a quick landing page, quick thing. It wasn't a good looking web page. He did not build a website. He built a capture page.
All right. I'll say something about this. These websites that are generating leads, they'll be like 5 to 8 pages. It'll be pretty simple. It'll have a call now button. It'll have a quote form. It'll have a ton of content, home, about, contacts, some services that they're talking about, and that's it. Super simple, not hard to build. You could charge anything you want, though. People will do the same type of structure. They'll sell it for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, and they'll pretend all kinds of crazy amount of work went into it. It's the same thing. We just made it look a little fancier, and people will pay for it. Yeah,
you want a fancier design? That's just design fee.
But none of this matters. They can pay $25,000 for a website, and it can sit buried in the search results with everybody else without the work to get to the top.
Yeah, pretty sites don't generate leads, but if it generates leads and it's pretty, there's nothing wrong with that.
There you go.
That would be me. So I like what he's talking about, because what I'd say is, dude, that's embarrassment to my brand. And then all you'd have to say is, bro, you want to make it look better, but it works.
I don't care till it gets to the top. Once it gets there, then you can make it.
Do you think it's easier to get there bare bones, or is there a bunch of backlinks and meta codes and meta tabs and all the tricky shit that SEO guys do?
There's an 80-20, and you focus on the 80, you get near the top, and then you can start making it pretty so it doesn't hurt your delicate ego.
Oh, Alex says he runs a tech recruitment agency. Biggest advice to retain companies instead of... See, now he's just asking me questions. Bro, we're doing a podcast, Alex. You got to come back another day. But listen, dude, I like what you're doing. I think I have some events coming up. One's the Real Traffic Summit. Okay. And that shows people straight how to drive traffic. And I think you could come to that and speak on that for what you do, not what you teach. Because again, people aren't coming there to learn how to make money. They're making money. They're coming there to figure out how to drive traffic, because that's what matters, folks. How do you drive traffic? That's why I said, if I'm a business owner, I'm not listening to this. I'm not going to buy your teach me how to do it bullshit unless I'm going to have you teach my freaking employee and they're going to do it for me, which could be another thing. Like a business could buy it for their employee and let the employee. But the problem with that is if you might want to figure that out because you might lose your employee.
That's the skin in the game concern too, right? I've had a father buy it for his kids. Kid doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's true. But if they're an employee and you can hold them accountable, but still, dude, listen, if you teach your employee what he's talking about, your employee will do it for you. And I don't know about the loyalty. I'm sure there's a million reasons why this isn't right, but beware that employee would not be your employee very quickly once he realizes what he teaches, because he's going to go, well, shit, dude, he's teaching me how to do this multiple times over, which means all I need is the account. And you even teach me how to get the account, because it's basically every business in that area wants those.
You can start a company out of thin air.
It's a no-brainer.
I did that with. It was like paving in my hometown. I built one. I was planning on renting this thing out. I got all the leads coming in. People are calling for driveway paving, parking lots, businesses, all this stuff. And I'm looking at all the businesses in the area. The people aren't doing a very good job. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just do it myself. I poached one of their subcontractors, and I just had that guy go pave some driveways, and I just oversaw it. We made $8,000 in the first week instead of renting it out for $1,500 a month. So it's like I could have just built a paving company out of thin air, but I didn't want to build a paving company. So I switched it around, and then I ended up renting it out again instead, just because I didn't want to build it. But you could literally build anything starting with a site like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a no-brainer to me, dude. Listen, folks, Luke Vanderveer. You can go to lukevanderveer.com, VanderVeer.com, or just go to Website Rentals Coaching Rental. Website Rental Coaching.com to get a hold of them. I can't believe you're not on Instagram, dude.
Oh, I'm on Instagram.
Well, what is it?
It's just Luke Vanderveer.
Luke Vanderveer on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, go to @LukeVanderveer and just DM him. Again, I don't have any link for you or special code for you. This isn't a pitch. This is a freaking episode where I thought, dude, you need to be heard, because let me tell you something. There's a lot of people out there that need to get out of the rat race. They need to get some recurring revenue. They're willing to work. I know there's good people willing to work. They're willing to do it. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You got that figured out. You've proven it for yourself. You've proven it for hundreds of other people, and you're out there freaking doing it. I love that. So that's for them. And then businesses, dude, they all want to grow and scale, and they're always going to great lengths to figure it out. Well, dude, you grow and scale by generating more leads, number one. So how do you generate more leads? Right there, dude. I know you didn't anticipate a bunch of businesses reaching out to be the number one in their market, because you only do one, right? And you guarantee that.
Yeah, one person, and then that'll be it. You can't do multiple. It just, I mean, you could. I know,
but like the AC, the HVAC guy, Luciano.
Yeah,
he should freaking reach out right now, because he's somewhere, and if you do business with him, all his competitors, they're done.
That's right.
They don't get it.
That's right.
I'd buy it just for that.
You get that spot, you hold that spot, that's it. There's no more.
And is that by agreement? I know you say that.
That's what I do. Yeah, I mean, it's an ethical thing for me.
But it is an agreement, right?
Yeah.
So it's part 100%. Of your guarantee.
I mean, I'm not.
So if I catch my buddy doing the same thing as you and bumping me out, you'd be fraud.
Yeah.
It's me alone. Once you get one, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, I do stuff with verbal contracts. So, you know.
What if you get an HVAC guy, and then you find out someone else is a landscaping guy, and then the landscaping guy also does HVAC?
Well, then I'll help him with landscaping, and I'm not helping him with HVAC, or I just won't take that client.
Huh. Folks, you guys heard it. Let's shut off the live, folks, so we can finish this episode and talk about the details, the nitty gritty. If you guys want to do it, man, you got to go to droppingbombs.com or listen to the episode at YouTube, on YouTube, bradley.tv. Appreciate you guys. Talk soon. So, dude, I'm glad I had you on the podcast. I think you're doing good things. The impact that it's going to make is probably going to end up being a bigger reason you did it than the money, but I think the money is going to just come flowing in for you.
I just want to help people escape the rat race. It just, that feeling.
Why that?
It just feels good. It's not exactly the same as when I quit. Like when I quit, I could remember the day, the feeling. It's awesome. And watching other people do it, especially when I had a hand in it, felt pretty damn good. It was really close. And I was like, that was major fulfillment. And then I was like, I like that better than just, doing another rental deal. I mean, I'm doing those too because I think it's genius, but it feels good helping people do it.
Yeah. And again, I mean, dude, the best coaches in the world are the ones that figured it out, man. They figured out something, and now they can reach back to the people they used to be and help them get there quicker. Some of the things just shock me what people will do with it. Like I had a husband and wife, two school psychologists, different schools. They both walked away from their 9-to-5s with this a couple months ago. I was just interviewing him, try to get like a case study to throw on the page as testimonial or whatever. And I was like, yeah, so how's it going? Tell me. He's like, oh, we quit. I'm like, when? And he's like, oh, a couple months ago. And I'm like, dude, you never told me that you quit. I'm like, that's a big thing. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, nice. So like that was one. And then I had another guy. He built a website. He had the same thing as me. He like went to rent it out. He like didn't really want to rent it out to whoever was in that market. He ended up building, it was what did he do? Sheds. He was going to rent it out to a shed builder, but all of the shed builders in the area were statewide or national companies. And there wasn't really any local people. So he's like, I'll just hire a shed builder. So he did that. First year they did 400,000. This year they did over 500,000. I talked to him a couple weeks ago, so I don't know what he did in the last couple weeks of the year, but it was over 500 grand from one website with no other marketing. Well, you must give it down and dirty on the SEO, because there's a lot to know about SEO.
Yeah.
So you must give just like, here's all you need to know.
I mean, this is exactly what you need, tested and proven, all the stuff that I've worked on over the years. It's like there's a lot of people who will go and talk about all these concepts. Oh, well, this is what the proper way to do it is, or this is what Google says to do. I don't care what Google says. I don't care what the proper way is. I just know what works from testing it and doing it a million times. So if you follow this is going to get results. And then if you combine that with the perfect niche that should be an easy win, like how I try to set it up so it can be passive for me, it's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, you should figure out a license to a training system where I, as a business owner, can buy from you that training that now I can train my people here, because I want them to do it for Lightspeed. So I want you to train them how to do it for Lightspeed. Or if there was an option, well, here, I'll pay you to do it for Lightspeed, but I want it done for Lightspeed. And then somehow, some way, I'm not in the right niche, and you're going to say, dude, it ain't really going to work for you. So what's the best kind of companies where it just works beautifully? Because like, if I heard this, I'd call you for Lightspeed and you'd probably say, well, we don't do software.
Yeah, software is tougher.
Yeah, so like, what's the perfect customer for you to do it for? And so they're listening. They know, hey, that's me. Like the HVAC guy thinks perfect.
It depends on so some of these are dependent on the city. Some of the niches are just good everywhere. Some of the ones that I really like.
So it depends on where you live.
It definitely depends on where you live.
Okay.
Because
what do you really like? You were about to
I really
them.
I like concrete. I like masonry. I like trees. I like plumbing. A lot of those are great.
So you said that a little bit like those are kind of secrets too, aren't they?
Those are ones that a lot of people know about.
Oh.
I have a couple that I keep for just me. I teach people how to find the obscure ones so they can go out and find their crazy stuff.
If I join your program, are you going to tell me the ones you're in?
I'm not going to give. I have two that I've taken to a national level, and I will never divulge that to anybody for any amount of money.
You had to discover it.
I had to discover it. But I teach people how to find those. So like when they come in and they're on Google or YouTube University looking for niches, and they do like roofing, I can apply this to roofing. You can apply this to roofing and make money, but it's not going to be like results in 2 weeks. Like we had our coaching call last night, and I was just talking to one of the guys. I'm like, how's it going? What do you end up doing? And he's like, I picked the niche. I'm like, cool. You're going to share that? He's like, can't share it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what's going on with it? He's like, we're getting multiple calls a day. I'm like, cool. How long's the site been up? 2 weeks. And I'm like, I can't tell people that you can get results like that, but you can get results like that. It's just not normal. You got to look for something off the beaten path.
I know, without even going through your course, it's got to be based on freaking search terms.
It's just stupid stuff. Like one dude had a website for chicken coops. Nobody thinks of that. People are looking at plumbing and whatever, because I just mentioned that chicken coops, you'd never think of that in a million years.
Who's looking for chicken coops?
People are looking for it. And that's something where you think they got a powerful website. You could do half the process, crush them, never touch the website again, and it just pays every month.
So I know one right now where not a lot of good websites in the industry.
Oh, so then you hang on to that. Don't divulge that. Use that for yourself. Go make something.
Well, I believe in abundance, so I'm gonna give it out.
Ooh.
Containers.
Oh. Interesting. Because I watched the episode with his name. What the hell is his name? The cowboy containers.
Oh, yeah.
Cactus containers.
Cactus Jack Mugby. No.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was called Cactus Containers.
Cactus Containers. TX.
TX.
Yeah.
My boy,
I remember. I saw that.
Cody.
I actually have a container.
Is it Cody?
So that is a good one.
Why can't I remember his name now? You just made me. It's Cody, isn't it? Anyway, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, again, if it didn't, it is now.
Yeah, I watched the episode. I have a site for containers, so that actually is a good one, shipping containers.
So, dude, number one, I would get a VT system so you can train people and you can, drive different monetization and different revenue models that you might want to introduce, because that coaching space that you fell into, it's a big industry and growing very rapidly.
Lead generation's huge.
Lead generation is huge. I've got an event coming up, like I said, Real Traffic Summit. I might have you come speak there on some of these things, and you can maybe get a bunch of business from that. And then like this weekend, I got Real Business Growth Summit. If I'd have known, I probably would have had you speak there, but on a different level. Because again, most people are probably trying to get you to speak on how to do it, and you're like, well, dude, pay me and I'll show you how to do it. I'm looking at it for, like, you need more lead gen. That's how you do the lead gen.
Ready.
That's how they do it, dude. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
So if I'm a landscaper and I'm spending $1 million a month on marketing, I'm crushing it, and you come along, but I'm not on the first page, I'll say, well, dude, if you can get me on the first page, that's only going to help.
More business.
And if it's, let's say $1,000 a month, I'm paying you, and every lead that comes from that first page ranking placement comes into my business, I could literally, as long as I can justify that traffic is worth more than $1,000 a month, you're happy, and I as a business am happy. There's, I would say, 1 million of the businesses that would buy that right now if you did it.
Yeah, if you're teaching people omnipresence, right? You're giving them that perception.
You're giving them leads.
What do you think, like, for the customer's perspective, when they see number one in the search results?
It's all about leads, man.
Right?
Dude, you nailed it. It's leads. And that's what you teach.
Yeah.
You got a business in a box. You got a business in a box for someone that wants financial freedom. Hey, I'll teach you what I did, which is basically clever ass, takes work, but clever ass way to generate leads and then go in and get a monthly fee from the business that wants them.
Yeah.
Well, dude, yeah. I'm going to have you back. I'm going to have you some events. Folks, if you guys don't know already, go follow this dude, Luke Vanderveer. You can go to lukevanderveer.com or follow him on Instagram at Luke Vanderveer. And if you guys want to do business or learn the business, that is website rental coaching.com. Appreciate you coming in. Any final words to the bomb squad?
No, thanks for having me, man. I'm just pumped I dropped 2 bombs. I was just trying to get one.
You got more than that. I just forgot to be hitting them. And folks, as always, till next time, keep it real.